one. Almost a Grand Prix distance worth of laps today. I know it's only testing, but was it a pretty good learning experience out there?
Not particularly, because it's the first day here. Obviously, no cars have been running, so it's track's dirty, sandy, and very windy. So you're just kind of sliding around. So it was just kind of brushing off the cobwebs, I guess. Over the next couple of days, the track will get better.
In terms of just your early feels with this car, does it feel a little bit better than maybe it did at the start of last year? Or is it too early to say?
Too early to say. Yeah. I mean, I don't think today's felt good for anybody because it's so windy. So, and it's the lowest. It's the lowest grip I've ever felt here in my 20 years. So,
Lewis Hamilton just stepped into a Ferrari, and in less than 20 laps, he exposed a problem that could define their entire season. The car was fast, but unstable, and what Hamilton told the team, after climbing out of the SF26, changed their entire setup direction. Right now, Ferrari is facing a choice they never expected to make. Leclerc wants one thing. Hamilton demands the opposite. And if they get this wrong, their championship fight ends before it begins. But if they get it right, this car becomes a weapon. Subscribe now, because what Hamilton just revealed in Bahrain has everyone at Red Bull watching closely. This was not a PR stunt, not a farewell tour, not a warm-up. This was real. Hamilton in the SF26, on track, in full test mode. And it took just a handful of laps for the truth to hit Ferrari hard. The car was fast, unquestionably fast, but not for him. Not yet. From the first corner, you could see it. The front end was vague, the rear end unstable. Turn in understeer, mid-corner hesitation, then snap, oversteer on exit. Hamilton wasn't fighting the stopwatch. He was fighting the platform. But here's what makes this different. He didn't back off. He didn't ask for time. He asked for change. More front load, tighter suspension, sharper response on initial turn-in. And when he stepped out of the car, he wasn't frustrated. He was focused. Because what just happened was classic Lewis Hamilton. He found the limit of the car before the car was ready. And in doing so, he exposed its weakness. Now Ferrari has a choice. Do they tune the car to Lewis? Or do they double down on a setup built for Leclerc? Because when Charles took over the session in the afternoon, everything changed. Same car, same track, different driver. And suddenly, the SF26 looked alive. Charles Leclerc wasn't just smoother, he was quicker. He rotated the car through turns 11 and 13, like he was driving something else entirely. No hesitation on turn-in, no snap oversteer on exit. It was aggressive, controlled, fast. And if you were only watching lap times, you'd think Ferrari fixed the car during lunch. But here's what really happened. They didn't fix the car. They changed it. Insiders confirm. Ferrari made key suspension changes between Hamilton's final run and Leclerc's first. Rear stabilizer bars stiffened. Ride height adjusted. Weight balance subtly shifted. All of it leaned toward Leclerc's natural style. Why? Because that's where the performance was hiding. But here's the dilemma. What works for Charles doesn't work for Lewis. Hamilton wants the front to attack. He needs the nose to respond, even if the rear gets nervous. Leclerc, on the other hand, is happy with a looser rear. He manages the instability with throttle. Two world-class drivers, two very different setups, one car. And now, Ferrari has a serious problem. Inside the Ferrari garage, the data is clear. Leclerc's configuration works. For him, Hamilton's feedback is sharp, but it pulls in a different direction. And that's not just a minor difference. It's a potential development fork. Because here's the reality no one wants to say out loud. You cannot develop two cars. Not in a cost cap era. Not with limited testing. Not when every simulator run has to serve one philosophy. And now Ferrari stands at a crossroads. Do they build the SF26 around Charles, who's grown up inside this car concept, knows how to extract pace from a loose rear, and delivered fast, clean laps in Bahrain? Or do they lean into Hamilton's instincts? A seven-time world champion who's already pushing the limits and demanding more from a car he just met? It's not a matter of preference anymore. It's a matter of direction. Because if they try to chase both styles, they risk building a car that satisfies neither. Too sharp at the front for Charles, too lazy at the nose for Lewis. And that kind of compromise doesn't win world championships. But here's where it gets even more complex. Ferrari's own upgrade path is already aggressive. They've brought a radical floor, a high-angle diffuser, a new S-duct airflow system that may be affecting rear-end balance in ways they don't fully understand yet. This isn't a time for guessing. It's a time for clarity. And Lewis Hamilton? He's already giving them that. His feedback today wasn't vague. It wasn't political. It was targeted, unfiltered, and brutally honest. He told them what the car is. He told them what it needs. And now Ferrari has to decide. Do they listen? Because if they do, they might unlock something terrifying. But if they don't, they risk letting this new era slip through their fingers. Forget top speed. Forget low fuel laps. The most important thing Ferrari revealed on day one wasn't a lap time. It was something hidden, something deep inside the car's behavior. Exit traction. Every team is chasing it because in this new era, with more complex aero and more torque from hybrid units, the cars are no longer just about cornering speed. They're about what happens the moment you hit the throttle. And Ferrari might be leading that race. Here's why. Throughout the afternoon, especially with Leclerc at the wheel, the SF26 showed a trait that engineers call snap recovery. In short, even when the rear stepped out, the power delivery stayed calm, controllable, predictable. That means one thing. Ferrari's hybrid system is working. The electric deployment is synced perfectly with the throttle. Not aggressive, not delayed, just instant. And when Leclerc came out of slow corners, turn 1, turn 10, turn 14, he wasn't wrestling the rear. He was slingshotting out of them. The GPS traces told the story. The car gains time after the apex. Not on entry, not in mid-corner, on exit. That's traction. That's power with control. And that is exactly what wins races in the early part of a season, before the full upgrades arrive, before anyone perfects their setup. Traction is king. But here's the problem. This same system comes with a cost, because the moment the car gets too low or hits a curb the wrong way, that airflow balance breaks, the diffuser stalls, the grip disappears, and the car goes from planted to panicked. We saw it today. Leclerc nearly lost the rear more than once after mounting the high-speed curbs. And Hamilton? He felt it even more in the morning. The rear never spoke the same language twice. So yes, Ferrari might have the strongest traction package on the grid, but it comes with sensitivity. And sensitivity, in a long season, is dangerous, because if that sweet spot moves around too much, Ferrari won't be able to push when it matters. And that's why tomorrow's test is no longer about performance. It's about stability, about finding the edge and holding it. Lewis Hamilton did not come to Bahrain to be comfortable. He came to make a statement, and that statement was clear. I'm not here to adapt to the car. The car will adapt to me. From the very first run, he pushed the SF26 past its limit of comfort. He didn't settle. He didn't hide behind fuel loads or early excuses. He found the weak points and dragged them out into the open. He demanded more from the front end, more response, more commitment from the chassis. And when Ferrari delivered those changes, even though it suited Leclerc more on paper, it showed something deeper. The car is capable of both, but someone had to provoke it. Someone had to shake the system. That's what Hamilton does. And make no mistake, this isn't about being faster on day one. This isn't about scoreboard validation. This is about identity, about tone. Hamilton has walked into Maranello with the experience of a champion and the clarity of a driver who knows exactly what it takes to win. And today, he didn't just test the SF26. He tested the team. How fast they react, how willing they are to pivot, how much they trust his instinct when the data still needs catching up. Because this season won't be won by the best wind tunnel or the cleanest CFD model. It will be won by execution, by direction, by drivers who force evolution. And today, that's exactly what Hamilton did. He showed Ferrari where the edge is. And now, it's up to them to decide if they want to live there. The red overalls, the number 44, the roar of a Ferrari engine under Hamilton's control. It looks surreal, but what happened in Bahrain today was very real. And the people who paid attention, the ones who didn't just look at the time sheet, but read between the lines, they saw it. Lewis Hamilton isn't here for a final chapter. He's here to rewrite the story. Ferrari didn't sign him for marketing. They signed him to build pressure on the team, on the car, on the process. And he just did. He exposed the gap between what the SF26 is and what it could be. He showed that comfort isn't enough. That fast isn't fast enough. Because if you want to beat Red Bull in 2026, you can't wait for upgrades. You have to force them. Right now, Hamilton didn't deliver the fastest lap, but he delivered something more dangerous. Urgency. He pushed the car, the setup, and the philosophy behind Ferrari's design into question. And that's what makes him lethal. Because once this car starts doing what he wants, and he begins to understand its tricks, the gap to Leclerc closes, the real pace appears, and the war begins. So here's the question Ferrari has to answer. Tonight, before the next run, before the season even starts, are they ready to let Hamilton lead this team his way? Because if they are, they might unlock a version of the SF26 we haven't seen yet. But if they hesitate, if they hold on to the past, then what happened today will be remembered, not as a beginning, but as a warning.